Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First, before I start, I want to ask unanimous consent that the following items be inserted in the record. A chart from the Health Industry Distributors Association, a statement from the American Association of Railroads, a statement from the North American Meat Institute, a letter from the National Association of Chemical Distributors, and a dozen items from the Agricultural Transportation Coalition. I understand that these all have been provided electronically to the Subcommittee Legislative Assistant.
Without objection, submitted.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman Carvajal, and our witnesses for being here today. Since the beginning of this traditional peak shipping season, starting in late August, the United States ports have been experiencing a record surge in cargo imports. This surge is expected to continue at least through 2021, and some say in the second quarter of 2022, as we recover from COVID and also consumer behavior changes. More than 30 container vessels routinely wait for space at the ports of LA and Long Beach, and the Port of LA had its biggest month on record in May. The surge is attributed to pent-up demand from the reduced cargo flow earlier in 2020 and changes in consumer spending patterns, given increased staying at home time in 2020 and 2021. Increases in pandemic-related items like personal protective equipment, the decreased port throughout because of COVID's impact on port operations, including increased testing, COVID infections in workers, and quarantining. I look forward to hearing from the witnesses if they agree with these popular explanations of the cargo surge. The real-world pressure test for the U.S. port capacity has led to container shortages for certain U.S. exports, particularly ag exports. Pressure on intermodal rail connections, delays in receipts of merchandise from certain importers, shortages of chassis for drayage, and accusations of abuses regarding detention demurrage charges, which I'll note ocean carriers and terminal operators deny. Prior to the container surge, the Federal Maritime Commission was already conducting fact-finding number 29 regarding detention demurrage. I understand that the fact-finding is now also looking at container shortages in some export markets. I look forward to Commissioner Dye's update on the status of fact-finding number 29. I understand the Commissioner is the former staff director of the subcommittee, and I am also interested in learning more about her work on supply chain data transparency. In addition, the Commission has issued interpretive guidance on detention and demurrage to ocean carriers and marine terminal operators, but the Hill continues to hear complaints. Though I understand few complaints have been filed with the Commission, I joined the chairman and ranking member of the full committee and subcommittee, Chairman Carvajal, in writing the FMC to urge vigorous enforcement of the Subtitle 4 of Title 46, popularly known as the Shipping Act, if any violations are found. I hope recommendations for industry practices to deal with future cargo surges will emerge from today's hearings. The health of U.S. agricultural exports are life and death economic issues in rural districts across America. Therefore, I'd like to strengthen the system to assure sufficient capacity in the supply chain to protect U.S. ag exports in the future. Thank you, Chairman Carvajal, and I yield back.